A skincare device with gold-plated needles that promises to deliver active ingredients deep into your skin without pain, trauma, or risk of infection. As someone who's always been skeptical about at-home microneedling, I had my doubts. The Qure Micro Infusion System claims to solve many of my concerns. So, does it actually work, or is it just another overhyped gadget? I tested it for 3 months. Let's find out. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Anne, a medical doctor here to teach you how to best take care of your skin and general well-being. Qure claims that depending on the infusion you choose, it can help fade hyperpigmentation, reduce redness, fine lines and wrinkles, and boost skin hydration, all with minimal discomfort and downtime. There are different bundles available, both in amount of treatments you get as well as in which concerns you want to target. In terms of number of treatments, there are 3 options. 1 month supply for €115, that's enough for 2 treatments. 2 month supply for €134, that's enough for 4 treatments. And 3 month supply for €143. That is enough for 6 treatments. As you can see, the more you get, the better the value for money. Included in these bundles are a facial spray with hypochlorous acid to reduce bacteria on your face before starting the treatment, 1 glass chamber to fill with the serum, 1 individually packaged head per treatment, and 1 ampoule of serum per treatment. At the moment, there are 2 different serums to choose from. Rejuvenating, designed to brighten hyperpigmentation, help fade dark spots and promote an even skin tone, and fine lines and wrinkles, designed to help soothe redness, improve hydration, and reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. When picking your bundle, you can either go with one of these serums exclusively or get both in equal parts. I had a mixed 3 month supply, so 3 ampoules of rejuvenating and 3 ampoules of fine lines and wrinkles. When you look closely at the head, you will see that the needles are retracted into the surface with only a small portion visible and that they are very thin. Qure claims that they are as thin as a human hair. Each needle is hollow and plated with 24 karat gold, meaning they are covered in a very thin golden layer, not, as I heard frequently online, that they are made from gold. Needles made from gold will be quite impractical, as it is a pretty soft metal prone to bending under pressure, not what you want in your microneedles. Their total length is 0.5 millimeters. The hollow structure allows the serum to flow from the chamber through the needles onto and into the skin. To achieve the best effect here, you should reach the stratum papillare, which is right where the epidermis meets the dermis. So the needles should be long enough to penetrate the whole epidermis, which is depending on the area of your body between 0.03 millimeter around the eyes up to 4 millimeter on the soles of your feet. On average, it is at around 0.5 millimeters though. The small channels created by the needles stay open for around 24 hours, so products applied immediately before, during, or shortly after the microneedling process can get deeper into the skin, as they don't need to penetrate the epidermis. That effect is strongest for skincare use directly with microneedling and fades over time. To prepare for the treatment, you take a fresh head, pick the serum you want to use. You can either use one or mix them half and half. Fill that serum into the glass chamber, screw the head on, and then put the whole thing upside down on your countertop. Qure recommends to let it sit like that for 2 to 3 minutes, but I found 5 minutes to be more effective in getting the serum right to the top of the needles. During that waiting period, you can thoroughly cleanse your face, really make sure that there are no traces of makeup or other things left, and then spritz it with the hypochlorous acid spray. And then it is time to get going. You take the device, remove the cap, and press the head against your skin. This pressing motion brings out the needles to their full length, so in theory you can control the depth by how hard you press. If you want to go around the eyes, for example, where the epidermis is quite thin, you don't press as hard, so you don't stamp as deep. How much control you actually have, though, I don't know. Qure will tell you to start at the center of the face and work your way out, overlapping each stamped area. That means you press down, move about halfway of the broad of the head outwards, and stamp again, so that one part of the area gets stamped twice. And like that, you make your way over the entire face once and then start again, making a total of 2, if you want even 3 passes over the face. Ideally, the serum should start to flow out onto your skin with the first stamping motion. If it doesn't, you might have to wait a little longer or slightly pat on the sides of the glass vial so that any air bubbles could get out of the needles. Sometimes it worked immediately for me, sometimes hands, I had to wait a little, but once the serum started flowing, it kept going for the whole of the treatment. No matter if you do 2 or 3 passes, you will most likely end up with serum left in the vial. It is a very generous amount, so just screw it open and distribute the rest either on your face as extra layer or on your décolleté and back of your hands. You then cleanse the vial, let it dry, discard the head and put on a new one right before you start the next treatment to ensure it stays clean until then. Treatments should be repeated every other week according to Qure, but you can of course stretch them out longer if that fits your routine better. I wouldn't go more frequently though to give your skin time to heal. Now let's look at the liquids Qure provides for the process. Both smell beautiful like roses, probably due to the Rosa Damascena flower water used as solvent, and share some basic ingredients like glycerin as humectant, panthenol for soothing, niacinamide for its skin beneficial effects, a few other humectant solvents, and ethylhexylglycerin as preservative. Rejuvenation contains tranexamic acid to target hyperpigmentation, tripeptide 1 and SH-oligopeptide 1 or epidermal growth factor. Fine lines and wrinkles contains copper, tripeptide 1, beta-glucan and sodium hyaluronate. Most of these ingredients have a separate video on my channel already, so I won't get into the details of their effects here. Now, how did the Qure Micro Infusion System work for me personally? I found it easy to use with a comprehensive instruction. I have never ever had microneedling done on my face before, so I can't compare the pain level to an in-office treatment, but I disagree with the claim of it being completely painless. I do have a good pain tolerance, but found it uncomfortable to do, especially on the top of the bones like the orbital bone, around the mouth or on the forehead. Uncomfortable to a point that I never did more than 2 passes. By the time I was done with that, I felt so tense that I needed to stop. Here is how my face looked directly after treatment. Quite red and sometimes with a few spots of pinpoint bleeding. It also felt tight and sensitive for the next few hours. Whenever possible, I would do it on a Saturday afternoon, giving me a few hours before bed that night to let everything calm down. Directly before bed, I would apply a thin layer of La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5, nothing else, and wake up to the redness subsided and my face feeling quite good. Again, no skincare other than the Cicaplast Balm for the next day. Unless I had to leave the house, then I would of course apply sunscreen and then back to my normal routine on Monday morning, including makeup. The channels opened by microneedling usually stay open up to 24 hours, so waiting that period of time felt safe. I also avoided using my tretinoin or any acids 48 hours before and after doing the treatment, just to be sure I didn't cause irritation. Did I see drastic results? No, nothing that I would attribute solely to the QURE system. But it is incredibly hard to judge subtle changes in your own skin, as how it looks is influenced by so many factors on the daily. I will say that I was complimented by strangers on my skin twice last month, something that doesn't happen to me regularly, so maybe Qure is to thank for that. I love the individual packet heads and the clear and precise instructions on how to use the Qure Micro Infusion System. It addresses my main concern, the risk of infection when doing at-home microneedling. I also love that they provide you with a serum specifically designed to be used for treatment, as I think much harm can come from people microneedling things into their skin that simply shouldn't have gone that deep. Still, I have one complaint about the treatment ampoules. Why the Rosa Damascena flower water instead of regular water? Even if it isn't much, the rose water will contain fragrant components that serve no other purpose than smelling nice. And while I am not opposed to fragrance in my skincare, I feel a little more hesitant when I purposefully break my skin's surface to allow it to go deeper to where my immune cells live. I wish they did a version without that. I also don't understand why they have the glass vial you pour the serum in. Yes, that allows you to mix 2 different serums at a time, but if you could just screw the head on top of the serum vial, it would be less waste and less risk for contamination. I haven't made up my mind yet if I will continue using the Qure Micro Infusion System, in parts because of my concerns regarding the rose water, but also in parts because I really do not like poking my face with the needles. But if you already are a fan of at-home microneedling, this is a much safer and more hygienic option than traditional derma rollers, both due to the fresh head you use every time, but also because of the reduced risk of trauma to the skin compared to a roller with needles going blunt. And if you enjoyed this video, you will most likely enjoy the ones linked on the screen here. Don't forget to check out the description box for everything else I have to offer, and like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next video.